This is exciting. It's really neat to see some guys that are really into these cars. We'll introduce everybody in a second, but I'm sure most of you already probably know them more than you know me. Rotaries are a little cool. Yeah. That is 800 horsepower off the line.
Jesus.
Oh my god, dude.
The anti-light builds it up that much, huh?
That's insane. It's ridiculous. Let's do a real quick pull, honestly, actually for myself too.
That's nuts.
That's fucked up. That's
That amount of wheel spin on 315s?
Yeah. Brand new tires, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It looks wider though. That's
Yeah.
something. We're also at like 30 psi. These are
Yeah, I think they do like
placement,
35 or something, right?
Yeah, so we'll lower that. This is super exciting. Vinnie brought his yellow FD here, and while of course it's not the 3-rotor, it's exactly where I started with the car behind us. Same exact place, almost just the same place in his life with that car. So it's exciting to see kind of a younger version of me doing exactly what I'm doing. So anything I can do to help. So he's got boost issues. We're gonna take a quick look at it, see what if I can help figure out the boost issues quickly, or if it's just not something quick, because stock twins are very complex. You got all the solenoids on top of just the boost line, so we'll see what it does. A couple things that might be familiar or not familiar to you guys with this car. This is truly an unmolested vehicle in many ways. It has the 93 spec front end, and it has what looks like the original logo, which some people make fun of it being like a toilet or whatever, but it's still super epic that that's on there. These are the 93 spec turn signals, which of course I'm a huge fan of the 99 spec. It looks really good now that it's kind of more of a vintage look, but the car is stock fenders, stock side, stock everything. That's wonderful. And then that was the same rear wing that I had on my car as well. It's the touring rear wing. This is a sunroof car, so this is the touring car that has, to me, some serious advantages, because all my cars have the sunroof. And personally, at least in Michigan, when it's not this insanely hot, it's a pretty cool option to have. The R1 is the other major version of the car. They call it the race version. I wouldn't consider that nowadays, just compared to all the technology that we have now. That had 2 oil coolers. This one probably has 1. All the stuff that comes out now, there's just so much that you can do way beyond technology Mazda had back then. Curious to see what's under the hood.
Yeah, you're gonna need pliers.
Pop that hood over here. Have the gas station. All my sports.
Yeah. This is super epic to me because this is quite literally what looks like a stock engine. And I haven't seen one of these in a very, very long time. That car came to me just like this, and then I started taking parts off and trying to polish them, and then I tried doing a battery relocation kit, and then I gutted the AC, started making more mistakes from there, but this is absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes to get familiar with all the different connections and fittings that he's got, and make sure they're all good, and then maybe try and see if we can hear where the boost leak is coming from. This is a trick that was taught to me many years ago, and we're gonna see if this will help us in this case when there's so many different things going on, but it's simply using brake cleaner, which is combustible, to find if there's any air leaks at idle. There might just be boost leaks, which means something breaking open, but if they're showing up at idle as well, that'll help narrow down what's going on. So when this gets into the system, it's a fuel, and so you'll hear that the engine actually idle different speeds if you get close to an air leak. So we'll see if that helps us at all. So the stock air box is right here, so obviously if I spray it on the air box, that's not gonna get us very far. He made a really good point and say, hey, when you rev it, you can hear it blow off. And as soon as he said that, I knew there was something wrong, because the blow-off valve on a stock FD actually recirculates. It's one of them's right here. There's these 2 right here. You can't hear a blow-off valve on a stock FD because they go back into this air box right over here. So they actually, if you guys are looking for like a blow-off valve, you would disconnect this, and you'll hear psh. But when I was revving it, you could hear it actually revving, and then tons of air was blasting onto my hand over here. So he's very right. There's a boost leak Mostly under boost, because otherwise it should have came out. This video is going to quickly turn into how to make a fake goatee. I have to pressurize the system, and this is not going to end well for me, but at least I'll look kind of cool. Just, I don't want to know. I hope not, but you guys know it. Thank you. I'm making sweet love to this car. I don't even know it really well. A little fling I'm having right now. My cars can't watch this shit. Yeah, I can hear it. So we're one step closer to figuring this out, but gotta keep tracking it down.
Keep going. I'm enjoying.
Buy it.
I don't even know her VIN number. You can kind of see from this angle. The piece fell off. You see a little hole right there? So that was what was making that noise. On Vinnie's car, just like mine, there's all of these hoses, which are just hoses directly to the manifold like that. The big one's meant for the brakes, but all these other small ones are good for blow-off valve or fuel pressure regulator, all the other shit. Anyway, those straight up air leaks, and it's common to use those little rubber nipples to block it off. And sure enough, the rubber nipple, as soon as I reached in there, it crumbled and fell off. And so that small of a hole is capable of making a massive boost leak. Might be the only problem, might be one of the problems, but at least can address that one first and then put it back together real quickly. Okay, go ahead and rev it. More? One more time. Turn it off. Okay, it's better, but there's still something else there. I think something's cracked. Oh. Okay. These guys were cool until just a moment ago. They're flexing on me.
He's winking at you.
Yeah. Please leave. Please leave. I get it. Mine don't work right now. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have Vinnie take me for a quick spin, and then I'll take him for a quick spin. See if the power levels are comparable. Reminds me of my stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna get way more enjoyment out of driving and riding in this thing than he is in that, and that's gonna be a wild car for him, but like this reminds me of my youth. Not that I'm old, but not that I'm young either. So it's just nice feeling the bone stock car, or at least close to it. The FD is a wonderful car when it comes out the way it originally did back in '93. So you ready to?
I'm as ready as I can be.
Okay. For Vinnie, he's about to experience something kind of wild for this car because we just got the new tires on. We haven't had a chance to test them. They're 40 millimeters wide than the previous ones. They look funny because the rims are not wide enough for them, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit line lock, warm the tires up here, and then do a quick launch, and he gets to experience what that's like. This is as quiet as it gets. That's exactly what that does for me.
That is gnarly.
I don't even know, man.
Fucked. That is absolutely insane.
Is there a puddle of poop in the driver's seat or the passenger seat?
There's piss and poo in that passenger seat, dude.
Mine's semi-permanent in the driver's seat. You see how crazy that gets out of control real quick, and like, Oh my God, what a rush. It's just a rush of a car, but I forgot to lower the tire pressure. So
Oh, yeah.
we still launched, I think we launched a little harder than before, but they're set from the tire company, they're set at like 30 PSI and you're supposed to run them close to 10. I warmed them up a little bit, they're not that hot. I can definitely feel a little bit more mid-level grip, at least when it comes to racing with Ferraris or whatever, this thing will still absolutely just curb stomp them, so. I've been challenged to a race and I'm a little worried. So I lowered tire pressure. It's gonna be a close one. But no, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna line the stock FD up to this and we'll just see just roughly what the compare. Just roughly what a stock FD would do against somebody who's wasted all their money in life on a modified one. So let's see what happens. But we're down to about 15 PSI now. I won't do a burnout, but maybe we'll look a little bit better.
I think mine's louder.
I had 0.2 seconds.
Okay.
I was ahead.
Since this is my video, we're gonna just ignore the first 0.2 seconds.
You guys got that on camera, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
shit.
They might cut it.
His video might tell a totally different story, but it's sped up. He's speeding us up. No, that was fun. I expected Chris to get out of the way. But hey, that was fun. That was a fun little race. Vinnie, you broke my heart. Having a young guy show me up like that with those pop-ups, that's not good. I'm not gonna let you catch me slipping. So it's time to show you one up to that. As you know, this entire harness is all rewired by me. One button, boom, running lights. Cool, everybody's got that. Another button, boom. Headlights and pop-ups all in one. Back down, off and down. Back up, down, boom. All in one click of a button. Oh, I gotta focus on what's important on this car, and that is finally done. So for you guys that have been with me for a long time, having a harness that's actually covered down here feels really good. I'll clean this up as I go, but everything from here over is done. And what you're about to see next on this car is the Tefsel beautiful wiring harness, extremely expensive to build. There'll be a very thorough video on that coming up very soon. Working on Vinnie's car was such a cool experience for me because it's not often I get to work on bone stock vehicles that I think what would be really neat to do a video on is how to make a stock FD as reliable as possible. We talk about the motors all day long, but there's a lot of things that the car could do to be much more reliable, and I think we'll be covering that in about a month. So this will be pretty exciting content coming out with all of us working together.